What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, the two new upcoming packages, the physical infrastructure package and the next stimulus package, which is named the American Families Plan, as well as what is going on in the world today. Also, I will have a special guest appearance for you at the end of this video that you won't want to miss, so make sure to watch all the way to the end. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new updates. It's completely free to subscribe. New videos come out every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with all the latest information. Also, don't forget to hit the like button for us. It really helps out our channel. One of the biggest stories going on right now in Congress and well, really across the United States is that they are trying to figure out the origin of COVID-19 as new information has come out of Wuhan, China, that researchers from the Viral Institute there were infected with coronavirus earlier than had previously been made public. And now the bipartisan Problem Solvers Caucus has formally endorsed a commission to investigate the COVID-19 origins.
The Wuhan lab leak theory is gaining more credibility after many on the left dismissed it as a conspiracy. And more than a year after asking Congress to investigate China's deceit in their COVID response, 18 attorney generals believe their case is getting stronger. Missouri Attorney General Eric Smith joins us now. Attorney General, do you guys feel vindicated? Is this going to help the lawsuit?
Absolutely. I think with the news of the virology lab in the last couple of weeks, many are realizing what we've known for a long time here in Missouri and what we've alleged in our lawsuit is that China is responsible for this and ought to be held accountable for unleashing this global pandemic on the world. And so in the last couple of weeks, we've been able to effectuate service on a number of defendants, including the Wuhan virology lab, to get answers. And here's what we already know, Lawrence. In early December, if not sooner, China was aware of human-to-human transmission, but didn't tell the world about it until January 21st. Meanwhile, they went from being a net exporter of PPE to a net importer of PPE, cut off flights to mainland China from Wuhan, but not the rest of the world. And so the world deserves answers, and that's why we filed the lawsuit and why we are, certainly committed to pressing forward.
Everyone knows if we get down to the facts that China is responsible. We don't know if it was intentional or not yet. That's what the investigation should be about, how it happened. The question is, what do we gain here at home from this lawsuit? Are they going to pay for damages? What do you guys hope to gain?
Absolutely. That's what we're seeking in the lawsuit is the tens of billions of dollars in damages, the lives and the livelihoods that have been lost here in Missouri. And we certainly think that through that lawsuit, we can get a lot of answers through that investigation, through that discovery. And again, that's why we're pressing forward. So we welcome all the calls, including from Congress, for further investigation.
Yeah, I hope every member of Congress, every federal agency is on board with this. This is a world issue. This is an American issue. Attorney General will continue to follow that case. Thank you so much for coming on.
So 18 different attorney generals from 18 different states are seeking restitution from China and want to see if the origin did officially come out of China, if there was cover up there, and if it came out of the lab. This is really big news as more information is coming out every single day on this and whether or not we can get restitution out of China. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Also, Dr. Anthony Fauci, who has come under a lot of criticism and under fire here over the last 24 hours as thousands of his previous emails have been made public now, he is calling on the Chinese to release medical records of these Wuhan researchers who were had COVID-like symptoms well before the pandemic was announced or China even announced it to the world. Dr. Fauci says, quote, "I would like to see the medical records of the 3 people who were reported to got sick in 2019 from that viral institute in Wuhan, China. Did they really get sick? And if so, what did they get sick with?" Dr. Fauci also called for the records of minors that got sick years ago after entering a cave. According to the Washington Post, 6 minors became sick with a viral-induced pneumonia after entering a bat cave in China. Now, the new May jobs report came out, and it was actually, again, worse than expected, with only 559,000 jobs added for the entire month of May. for the entire country. And this, we were supposed to have 1 million jobs plus added in April, and we only had 266,000, and 1 million plus added in May, and it only had 559,000. So we were supposed to have over 2 million jobs added for the whole country in April and May, and instead had, what is that, about 800,000 only between the 2 months. So the economy is very, very slowly picking up, and nowhere close to what is expected to be as we're coming out of this recession. Again, well off the targets of 1 million plus jobs per month, 559,000 for May, only 266,000 for April, which was absolutely terrible. It was only 26% of the amount of jobs that they expected. And this just further shows that more stimulus is needed to help our economy, or else we could literally have a long years recovery. Like in the 2008-2009 recession, it took us 4 years for unemployment to get back to normal because they only passed one stimulus package back then. That was kind of the start of the modern day stimulus package, and that was without a virus at all. That was just with the economic recovery from the housing collapse, and it took 4 years for us to get back to normal from that recovery. President Biden is meeting today with Republican negotiators over the next infrastructure package, and we're really at pretty much a deadline here by the end of the week, whether or not the Republicans and the Democrats are going to be able to come to a deal, or if the Democrats are going to try to pass this package through their on their own through the reconciliation process. Also, there's been new data and new studies that have come out in favor of more stimulus checks. And here is two representatives from the U.S. House of Representatives talking about the need for more stimulus and how to do it.
You know, there is a study in the New York Times talked about that it found that the stimulus checks, the checks that, you know, were the first thing that the Biden administration was able to get through. A new analysis of census at the Census Bureau argues that the two latest rounds of aid significantly improved Americans' ability to buy food, to pay household bills. It reduced anxiety and depression, with the largest benefits going to the poorest households and those with children. That's actually unusual in American legislation. So that happened. What do we need to do next and make that sustainable?
Yeah. Well, Joe, and that's the key, sustainable, because we know it works, because every time we do it, it works. So the bottom line, what this resolution is saying is the congresspersons are finally taking up the agenda of the movement. And the Poor People's Campaign agenda is we must have the resolve. There's not a scarcity of money or scarcity of ideas. The scarcity is in political consciousness and social will. So we need first things like that permanent. We need to change how we measure poverty. We need a living wage of at least 15 that will address the 32 million people who work for less than a living wage. We need an infrastructure that targets poor and low wealth community. We need health care for all. We need full and protected and expanded voting rights, because all of these things are connected, and we need them made permanent. We need to use the tax code to address poverty with earned income tax credit and child tax credit, but these have to be a part of a full reconstruction. You can't do a little piece here and a little piece there and wait another 20 years. We got 140 million people living in poverty and low wealth before COVID. 8 million more went into poverty after COVID. Billionaires made $2 trillion. Poor folk got sick the most, died the most, but have gotten the least out of the recovery. This is a wake-up call. And you know, can it pass? No, without a movement, without us doing massive movements and having voting rights. That's why on June 7th, we're going to be in 47 states in front of House members' offices. June 21st, we're launching a mass assembly of poor people, low-wage workers. And, Joy, lastly, we are calling for 365 days of mobilizing toward June of 2022 for a mass poor people's assembly, low-wage workers, moral march on Washington. We are not going back on this, because we're talking about 43% of the American public and 30% of the American electorate that are poor and low wealth.
Yeah, so really this new data shows that stimulus checks have worked and continue to work as they look for a fourth stimulus check. And really this analysis of this data supports sending more stimulus checks, which is exactly what Democrats in Congress want to do for this next stimulus package. As you can see here, Democratic progressive leaders touted the benefits of stimulus checks after a new report showed how they substantially reduced a number of hardships for Americans across the country. The New York Times reported on a study from the University of Michigan looking at data compiled by the Census Bureau on Wednesday, showed multiple ways the lives of everyday Americans improved significantly after the passage of the $600 stimulus check in December and the $1,400 stimulus check passed in March. The analysis showed that household food shortages dropped by 42%. A broad gauge of financial instability declined by 43%, and frequent anxiety and depression dipped by over 20%. Putting money in people's pockets works. We can and must continue to enact people first policies that improves lives, said Democratic Representative Pramila Jayapal, the chair of the Democratic Congressional Progressive Caucus and a Washington Democrat. Remember, Representative Jayapal, the leader of the Democratic caucus, is one of the most influential people when it comes to passing the next stimulus check package. She has a bill out right now in the House of Representatives that is for a one-time $2,000 stimulus check, then followed by $1,000 monthly recurring payments that would go until 1 year after the crisis is over. So $1,000 stimulus checks for at least 12 months. She's also leading the charge in the House of Representatives with 155 different Democratic lawmakers that are urging President Biden to expand Medicare in the American Families Plan, which is over 70% of the House Democratic caucus that is calling on the White House to expand Medicare by lowering the eligibility age, probably to age 60, improving benefits in Medicare to include hearing, dental, vision, and hearing aids included in Medicare for no additional cost, and dropping the price of prescription drugs by forcing pharmaceutical companies to give us the same prescription drug prices that these prescription drug companies sell to other countries, and that we can save, our US government can save $500 billion every single year by simply forcing these pharmaceutical companies through a law passed in one of these upcoming stimulus packages, and forcing these pharmaceutical companies that they have to sell us these prescription drug prices for the same price that they sell them to for other countries. That alone could save the US government $500 billion a year that they can use for these stimulus checks, Medicare programs, or Social Security raises, as well as additional money that would go directly in your pocket when you pay for medications, that it would be a lower price. Now, what's interesting is Biden health officials are taking a look at the previous drug pricing proposal done by former President Donald Trump. As you can see here, a key Biden administration health official said Thursday that she is, quote, taking a look at one of former President Trump's proposals to lower drug prices, but did not commit to pursuing the plan. Quote, I think we're, taking a look at these concepts, says Liz Fowler, director of the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Innovation. She said when talking about Trump's most favored nation plan proposal to lowering drug prices. Former President Trump had touted the initiatives as a way to lower the prices Medicare paid for certain drugs to be in line with the prices paid by other wealthy countries. But the proposal which Trump put forward at the end of his term never went into effect, as it was blocked by the courts for failing to follow proper procedural steps in its implementation. The path there forward is up to the Biden administration. So honestly, the plans from former President Donald Trump and current President Biden to force these pharmaceutical companies to give us drug prices, both the U.S. government and the people, prices for the same prescriptions at the same price that they give it to other countries, is really their plans are very similar. But again, as we just read there, President Trump's was not able to be enacted, and President Biden has a very similar plan that they're still trying to be enacted and could be done through one of these next stimulus package. All they need to do is really basically pass a law that says they have to give it to us for the same price, and that they can't gouge the American people or the American government by charging us more than what they do other countries. So yeah, there's multiple different stimulus packages or different stimulus provisions on the block being negotiated for the fourth stimulus check package and the next infrastructure package. Really, mostly the next stimulus package, known as the American Families Plan, is where there's about 15 different stimulus items that they're negotiating on to put in this next package. I will keep you up to date on all of them. Also, my son Julian wants to show you his new grocery store. So here is the clip of him asking me. Well, he asked me to show this to our extended family here on YouTube, you guys. So here's Julian's new grocery store. All right. Hi, good sir. Hi. Do you work here at this supermarket? You do? All right, what do you have here for sale? What do you have here for sale?
Shoes.
And what is that?
Eggs.
And how much are those?
It's 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Good job. All right, put them in the cart. All right, what else do we got here? Okay, and how much is that?
7 o'clock.
Did you scan it?
I did.
Oh, good job, buddy. Okay, what else do you got? Oh, okay. Can you scan that for me too? All right, and how much will this cost?
7 Sunday.
Can you put the coins in for me?
Yeah.
All right, can you put them in there for me?
No, put them on.
All right, here you go. All right, put them in there, one by one.
One coin.
Good job, buddy.
2 coins.
You like working at your supermarket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coins. You,
That's right. Work hard, buddy.
you paid 5.
You're learning young. All right, can you say bye-bye to everybody?
Paid 6. Bye-bye. 7.
Say we love you.
We love you.
Say we'll see you in the next video.
See you in the next video.
Let me know what you thought of little Julian there. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new updates. I will keep you up to date on everything stimulus and governments related that is need to know basis. You can click this video here to see the newest video about state stimulus checks, county stimulus checks, and stimulus checks going out in June, July, and August. And you can click this video here to know about President Biden's Social Security raise. Click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.